Are you tired? Not just tired from a long day, but a deeper kind of tired. The exhaustion that comes from a lifetime of being agreeable. The one who smooths things over, the one who never makes a fuss, the one who is always the good girl. It was a role we learned to play so well it felt safe, a way to earn love and acceptance, a way to keep the peace. But now, in the quiet moments when you are alone, does that mask feel heavy? Does it feel less like protection and more like a cage? You are not imagining this feeling. It is the profound soul fatigue that comes from a life spent performing. For so many women in midlife, especially in America, we have silenced our own truths for so long that we have forgotten the sound of our own voice. We have carried the weight of everyone else's needs until we can no longer feel the shape of our own. But what if I told you that this exhaustion is not a sign that you are broken? What if it is a sacred invitation, a call from the deepest part of you to finally come home? This video is not about blaming you for wearing a mask. It is about honoring why you needed it. And it is about revealing how the very thing you thought was keeping you safe has now become the sacred barrier to your true self. Today, we begin the courageous journey of unmasking, not to become someone new, but to finally meet the powerful, authentic woman who's been waiting underneath it all along.
To understand how to take the mask off, we must first honor why we put it on. No one chooses this role accidentally. The good girl persona is not a character flaw. It is a brilliant and often necessary survival strategy. Think back. Somewhere in our childhoods, we learned a fundamental lesson. We learned that love and approval were often conditional. They were the reward for being quiet, for being helpful, for not causing trouble. We received a script, a silent, unwritten script with a very clear set of rules. Rule number 1, your needs are less important than the needs of others. Rule number 2, your authentic emotions, especially anger or disappointment, are inconvenient and should be suppressed. Rule number 3, your value is determined by how useful you are to everyone else. And so, we became excellent actors. We learned our lines perfectly. We learned to smile when we were hurting. We learned to say yes when our entire being was screaming no. We became experts at anticipating the needs of others while becoming strangers to our own. Does any of this sound familiar to you? For a long time, this strategy worked. It kept us safe. It earned us praise. It allowed us to navigate a complex world by being predictable and pleasing. We were rewarded for our performance. But a shield that is never taken off eventually fuses to the skin. It becomes a prison. And the cost of living inside this prison is devastatingly high. The first and most profound cost is the silent drain of your life force. It takes a staggering amount of energy to hold back who you really are. Imagine spending your entire day holding a beach ball underwater. On the surface, you might look calm, smiling, functioning perfectly. But underneath, every muscle is tense. Every part of you is engaged in the constant, exhausting effort of suppression. That is the energy it takes to be the good girl. It is the reason you feel so tired, a soul fatigue that no amount of sleep can ever fix, because your body is spending all its precious energy not on living, but on hiding. The second cost is the ghost of a life unlived. Every time you swallowed an opinion to keep the peace, every time you abandoned a passion because it wasn't practical, every time you ignored the pull of your own heart to meet someone else's expectation, a small part of your authentic self went dormant. Over decades, these dormant parts accumulate. They become a quiet, aching void inside of you. The dreams you never chased, the talents you never expressed, the words you never spoke. This is the source of that nagging feeling that something vital is missing, because it is. You have been missing. And perhaps the most insidious cost of all is the slow erosion of your self-trust. When you consistently override your own feelings and desires, you sever the connection to your inner compass. The voice of your intuition becomes fainter and fainter, drowned out by the loud, demanding voice of "I should." I should go to that party even though I'm exhausted. I should take on that project even though I have no bandwidth. I should be happy because I have so much to be grateful for. After years of this, you reach a point where you genuinely no longer know what you want. The simple act of choosing a restaurant or deciding how to spend a Saturday afternoon can feel paralyzing. I once spoke with a woman in her late 40s, a successful, intelligent woman. She told me that her husband asked where she wanted to go for dinner on her birthday, and she burst into tears. Not because he was unkind, but because for the first time, she realized she had absolutely no idea. She had spent 25 years accommodating everyone else's preferences, that her own had simply vanished. She had lost the language of her own desires. That is the true cost of compliance. It is not just about fatigue. It is a profound disconnection from the very core of your being, a quiet, slow fading of your own light. But a system this rigid, a performance this demanding, cannot last forever. The soul will not be silenced indefinitely. Eventually, life provides a crack in the facade, a moment of crisis, or a slow, creeping realization that you simply cannot do it anymore. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of health. It is the first rumbling of an awakening. And for so many women, this awakening happens right in the middle of our lives. In the next part, we will explore why midlife becomes the sacred, perfect, and necessary time for the good girl to finally begin to set herself free.
For decades, the performance is flawless. The mask is held perfectly in place. The world applauds, and you tell yourself that this is enough. But the soul has a rhythm all its own, and it will not be ignored forever. The great psychologist Carl Jung had a profound understanding of this. He taught that the first half of life, from childhood to our late 30s, is dedicated to building our outer world. We build a career, we build a family, we build an identity that can function and succeed in society. Jung called this functional identity the persona. It is the costume we wear to the party of life, the carefully curated resume we present to the world. It is necessary, it is important, but it is not who we are. The second half of life, especially the years between 40 and 60, has a different, more sacred purpose. This is the time, Jung taught, for the journey inward. It is the season when the soul, your true, authentic self, begins to call you home. It is no longer satisfied with the performance. It wants presence. It wants truth. It wants wholeness. And this creates a tremendous pressure from within. Imagine the persona is a solid stone statue you have spent your life carving, beautiful, strong, admired by all. But deep inside that statue, a living, breathing tree begins to grow. At first, its growth is silent, imperceptible. But as it gets stronger, its roots begin to push against the stone from the inside. This is the beginning of the cracks in the facade. This is not a theory.
This is a felt experience. How do these cracks show up in your life? They often appear first as a low-grade, simmering irritation. You find yourself snapping on small things you would have easily tolerated before. The spilled glass of milk, the thoughtless comment, the extra request at the end of a long day suddenly feels monumental. It feels like the final straw. Does this feel familiar? This is not you becoming a difficult person. This is decades of suppressed no's finally bubbling to the surface. The cracks also appear as a deep, pervasive resentment. You look at the life you have so carefully built, and you feel a quiet, bitter anger. You love your family, you are grateful for your job, but you feel trapped by the very roles that once defined you. The resentment is the voice of the unlived parts of you, the parts you sacrificed on the altar of being good. It is the righteous anger of a soul that is tired of being small. And finally, the cracks reveal themselves as a profound sense of emptiness. This is perhaps the most confusing symptom of all. From the outside, your life looks perfect. You have checked all the boxes. But on the inside, you feel hollow. You feel a deep, aching loneliness, even when you are surrounded by people. This is the emptiness that comes from being disconnected from your own core. You have been so focused on playing a part that you have lost the connection to the real you. When a woman I know turned 50, she hosted a beautiful party. Everyone told her how wonderful she looked, how perfect her family was, how successful she was. She smiled and said thank you. Later that night, she told me that as she stood in the middle of her own celebration, she had never felt more invisible. She said, "They were all celebrating the statue. No one could see the woman crumbling inside." That is the crisis of the persona. It is the moment you realize that the world loves your mask, but you are suffocating behind it. This moment of crisis, this breaking point, is not your breakdown. It is your breakthrough. It is a sacred summons from your soul. It is saying, enough. Enough performing. Enough pretending. Enough shrinking. It is time. It is time to let the statue crumble, not so you can be destroyed, so the tree inside can finally reach the sun. This is the true purpose of the midlife awakening. It is a powerful, often painful, but ultimately liberating process of shedding who you are not so you can finally become who you are. The cracks are not there to break you. They are there to let the light in. And in our next part, we will learn how to step through those cracks and begin the sacred work of reclaiming your wild, authentic self.
So, the cracks have appeared. The light is beginning to shine through. The question that arises in that sacred, vulnerable space is, now what? How do you begin to take off a mask you have worn for a lifetime? The answer is, gently. One small, courageous act at a time. This is not about a sudden, dramatic rebellion. It is about a quiet, steady reclamation. The journey of reclaiming your wild. Now, that word, wild, can be intimidating. It does not mean reckless or destructive. In this context, wild means returning to your natural state. Like a wild river, flowing in its own true course, not contained by the concrete dams of other people's expectations. It means real, unedited, authentic. The first step in this reclamation is to simply notice. Start to become a gentle, curious observer of your own life. Notice the moments when you feel that familiar tightness in your chest. Notice when the word yes comes out of your mouth while your body is subtly pulling back.
You do not need to change anything at first. Just notice. This act of noticing is the beginning of reconnecting with your inner guidance system. It is turning up the volume on your own truth. The second step is to practice the sacred pause. When someone asks you for something, a favor, your time, your energy, and your automatic response is to agree, I invite you to create a tiny space. Instead of an instant yes, try this simple, powerful phrase. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. That's all. This small pause is a revolution. It is you, for the first time in a long time, giving yourself permission to consult with yourself before you give yourself away. And the third most beautiful step is to give yourself permission to be imperfect. The good girl persona is a perfectionist. She believes that one mistake, one moment of being difficult or disappointing will lead to total rejection. To heal this, we must intentionally practice imperfection. Send the email with one less round of edits. Let the house be a little messy. Allow yourself to have an opinion that differs from the group and say nothing. Just hold it for yourself. These are not failures. They are acts of liberation. They are you teaching your nervous system that your worth is not tied to your flawless performance. Your worth is inherent. It is absolute. I remember a woman I worked with who was terrified of setting boundaries with her sister. Her sister would call at all hours, expecting her to drop everything. For weeks, we talked about her saying no. It felt like an impossible mountain to climb. One day, she decided to try. Her sister called during dinner. Instead of answering, she let it go to voicemail. She told me her heart was pounding. She was consumed with guilt. But an hour later, her sister sent a text. It said, "Hope you're having a nice evening. Talk tomorrow." That was it. There was no anger, no rejection. And in that quiet moment, my client felt a wave of relief so profound she began to weep. It was the feeling of freedom. Her first taste of a life where her peace mattered. This is what happens when you begin to reclaim your wild. You do not become a different person. You become more yourself. And this leads to the final, most transformative stage, the liberated self. When you stop pouring all your energy into holding that beach ball underwater, that energy is returned to you. It's a profound homecoming of your own vitality. You will find you have more energy, not because you are doing less, but because you are no longer at war with yourself. You will also find that your relationships begin to shift. Some may fall away. The ones that were dependent on your performance will not survive your authenticity. This can be painful, but it is a necessary clearing, because the relationships that remain, or the new ones that arrive, will be deeper, more real. They will be connections built not on what you can do for them, but on who you truly are. You will trade a crowd of admirers for a small circle of souls who truly see you. And finally, you will discover the beautiful ripple effect of your own liberation. When a woman sheds her good girl mask and steps into her authentic power, she does not just heal herself. She becomes a permission slip for every other woman around her. Your courage to be real gives your daughter permission to be real. Your willingness to set boundaries gives your friend permission to set boundaries. Your journey back to yourself becomes a lighthouse for others who are also trying to find their way home. This is not selfishness. It is the most generous act of all. It is the power of the liberated self.
And so, we arrive at the end of this beginning. We began this journey together, feeling the exhaustion of a lifetime of being agreeable. We honored the brilliant young part of ourselves that first put on the good girl mask
as a strategy for safety and love. We stood at the edge of that performance, and we felt the cracks begin to form. We saw how the very shield that once protected us became a cage that was draining our spirit. And then we took the first gentle, courageous steps toward freedom. We learned to notice. We learned to pause. We learned to give ourselves permission to be gloriously, beautifully imperfect. This is the journey. From a life of performance to a life of presence. From the constant noise of I should to the quiet, clear whisper of I am. From seeking external approval to cultivating an unshakable internal alignment. Please know this: the path of unmasking is not a straight line. It is a spiral, a gentle dance. There will be days when the old habits rise up. There will be moments when the fear of disappointing others feels overwhelming. You will find yourself putting the mask back on just for a moment because it feels familiar. That is okay. That is part of the process. The goal is not perfection in being authentic. The goal is a compassionate return. Again and again, you can choose to come back to your truth. You can choose to take a breath and remember that your peace matters. You can choose to honor what you feel. Your exhaustion was not a character flaw. It was never a weakness. It was a sacred signal, a loving alarm bell from the deepest part of you, a soul that was desperate to be seen and to be real. You are not broken. You are simply remembering your own wholeness, one courageous choice at a time. If this message has resonated with you, if you have felt the truth of it in your own bones, I invite you to join this quiet liberation. Share in the comments below one good girl rule you are ready to let go of. It does not have to be a big one. Perhaps it is the rule that you must always answer the phone, or the rule that your house must always be perfect, or the rule that you must never show your anger. Your story, your simple act of defiance against an old script might just be the permission another woman has been desperately waiting to hear. Let us create a space where our real selves are not just tolerated, but celebrated. And as you begin this beautiful, messy journey of living unmasked, I want to prepare you for the next sacred step. Because here is a profound secret. Shedding the good girl mask doesn't just release your pain, it also unleashes your most brilliant hidden strengths. If you want to continue this discovery, I invite you to watch my next video on the golden shadow, the magnificent, powerful parts of you that being good has forced you to hide away. In that video, you will find the tools to uncover the very qualities you admire most in others and realize they have been inside you all along, waiting to be reclaimed. Thank you for sharing this sacred space with me. Be gentle with yourself. You are on your way home.